I'm starting another video with the P1000 here at the Cherry Grove Pier in South Carolina, North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Beautiful sunrise. Low tide is at 9:34, and the sun apparently is in the midst of the clouds, just as the account in Job 37 indicates, says, proclaims. It's a beautiful day here. On a foggy day, we might only be able to see a small portion of the pier. The way it is right now, even though I'm looking towards the Myrtle Beach skyline, we can only see a few miles away. People searching, looking for shark teeth, seashells. Some of them are going to bump into the truth. And actually, I believe truth and reality are interchangeable. That's why I'm so big on showing it and talking about it. The biblical creation shows the attributes, some of the attributes of God. And obviously, we didn't explode into existence and all this stuff just came into being like the modern scientific community is talking about. I've got a gentleman I've known for years. He thinks I've got some unusual or strange beliefs. I said, good, you're paying attention. I said, he said, so you really believe one God created all this? I said, well, yeah, what do you believe? He said, well, I believe aliens did it. I said, how many aliens did it? He said, I don't know. I said, how many aliens does it take to screw in your light bulb to make this all work? You know, it's kind of funny. People believe all kinds of stuff. So there's beliefs and there's opinions, and then there's the truth. Are those beliefs and opinions reflective of what the reality and the truth actually is? And since I'm addressing humanity, that's everybody. Is what you believe the truth? And if you were deceived, how would you know? How would you get out of that? The sun is obviously not 93 million miles away. I've got so many captures of the sun in the midst of the clouds. It's amazing. If you scroll through my videos, I pretty much like all my videos. I like what I do. I actually, when I can love it, I love it. Okay? I love what I do. And I love the creation, and I'm not a creation worshiper. I'm worshiping God who created all this, and He gave me new life in Him. He gave me His Holy Spirit. So I'll just do what He created me to do, and that's basically leveraging instantaneous worldwide communications technology and the interconnectivity of social media, the internet, all of that. So I've got hundreds and hundreds of hours of the audio Bible merged with the beauty of creation. What I've started doing, me personally, is I'll watch a lot of beautiful videos from all over the world, a live feed from Lounge 5 or Lounge V, and I'll put my audio Bible on a Bluetooth speaker. I can listen to whatever passage I want, and I can take it with me. I've got headphones that I listen to. What I found out that worked good for my sound system on recording with the iPhone 10. It's got a dedicated jack that plugs into the lightning port. These are Sennheiser, and they provide surround sound. When I shut my donut hole long enough for you to hear the waves and the birds and the wind, it's just beautiful. The message that I have is pretty important. It's a big deal. So I will continue to share this message, and I never know when one of these is going to go viral. I would say that the local sun video by Infinite Earth And it was also shared through Flat Earth Research and a variety of other venues, has over 700,000 views. And in that, I'm talking about how the sun and moon move above the face of the earth. It takes less than a day to hear the entire New Testament. I show the moon up in the sky and the sun up in the sky at the same time. They are moving independently above the stationary earth. That's biblical and that's reality. And so people from a diverse group or a diverse spirituality still shared this, even though I basically am a biblical creationist unapologetically. That's just what I'll do, because however many of these actual conspiracies you can figure out, if you don't figure out the reality of the need to be born again and make sure that that's actually happened for you, you're going to have an eternity to regret. That's why I do this, because it matters for eternity. So what I'm going to do is swing this around and back up a little bit as I walk forward here. Underneath the pier here is a really interesting place. People come walking and jogging and bike riding from multiple directions and hang out here for a while, turn around and go back. This 20 million guests that we're anticipating now this year, what a tremendous mission field that comes to us. So there's going to be a lot of flat earth meetups here, whether they know it or not. We're all flat earthers, whether we realize it or not. 3 people per second no longer have their human experience. We're all eternal beings having a temporary human experience. That's just the way that it is, as best I can tell. And I believe it's only by God's grace that anybody can love and believe the truth, let alone find it. What I'm showing you here, what you're looking at right in front of you, I want to break this down a little bit, is that there's a contour of the sand because of the hydrodynamics flowing around the structure of the pier. It creates a little bit of a depression, contours, multiple contours all around the pilings and the way the water flows in. As the water flows in, what it'll do is it'll fill in the low spots and then go back to where it came from. We have a diurnal tide here, high and low tide twice a day. So even though my tide app tells me when the tides are going to be, it doesn't cause the tides. That may sound silly, and it's true. My watch doesn't cause the sun and the moon to move above the face of the earth, even when I use my Flat Earth clock by David Weiss. What the point of it is, the sun and the moon and stars are a celestial timepiece that tell us the day, the time, the season, all of that. You could check it out if you care to. So there's up and down, not upside down, in relationship to one another. I've got a wind chimes that I hung underneath the pier here and then inverted the camera, showing it apparently like hanging upside down. Now I know people joke about it, oh, that must be Australia. I don't even joke about it. There is no upside down like that, except in the imagination. I don't see all the comments that may be on my memes, as I call them. They're a video meme. It was funny. I talked to our oldest son, David, yesterday, and he remembered when he showed me how to copy and paste. I said, this world will never be the same. He thought it was so funny, and he shared with me a meme, Mematic. It's for creating memes. I said, well, thanks for that. And I'll use different technology to create memes. There's a lot of very interesting things. There was a On my way here yesterday, there's a shower that's out in the open, like next to the road, next to a condo. It's funny because it says private shower. It's like, well, it's not that private. It's not as private as it should have been for the Czechoslovakian guy that was all pasty white and naked showering at the end of Main Street in Myrtle Beach. Evidently it was okay to do that in Czechoslovakia or the Czech Republic, not here. You know, we get people that come from all over the world here. It's pretty amazing. And it's pretty funny in some ways too, the different cultures and what's normalized in some areas. Part of the construct of creating all this sexual temptation and energy in humanity is to emasculate the men. And that's my perspective on it, part of it. It's sin. Sex outside of marriage is sin. I talked with a group of young men from Liberty University and found out that some of them believe that that there's no mention of no premarital sex. They said it's not in the Bible. They didn't believe that you should do it. They just didn't know, they didn't believe it was in the Bible. I said, well, 1 Corinthians 7 is one location you could start with, but it's called fornication. Sex outside of marriage is sin. And I'm convinced that premarital sex may lead to no marital sex. Yeah, I've heard it can happen. It happens all over. If mama ain't happy, it may not be going well for the husband, dad. And then in the same-sex relationship, that's all sin. It doesn't matter if they get married. Just, you can put lipstick on a pig, but it's still a pig. If you want to pretty that thing up by changing the plumbing and padding and making it look like a man and a woman, it isn't. We had a transgender first lady, first man. It's all a bit weird. You can look at, if you want a hashtag transvestigation, transpocalypse, you can find it. There's some of the channels get taken down because Hollywood is full of it, and the power brokers that create money out of thin air by their influence in the political arena and in the public opinion forum of all the social media platforms. So they'll normalize decadent behavior. Oh well, I'm outing it. I'm telling on them. That's what I'll do, because I can. I just wanted to show you some of that, how that irregularity works with the contours. It's just one of the clues. And that'll occur out here too. I'll take you to an area that it'll be a little prettier to look at, and I'll be able to zoom in further down there. So I see people reflecting off the beach, reflecting on their lives, past, present, future, anticipated relationships, young love. We've got the spring break happening right now, and then it'll be the summer break, and there will be people from all over, including the colleges that are grooming the world elite, so to speak. Harvard, Yale. We've got the alphabet agencies that come here. NASA, the CIA, NSA, no such agency. All of this stuff. All of the social media interaction is it's intelligence agency kind of thing. The drugging of humanity isn't limited to pharmaceuticals. We've got street drugs, crack, coke, heroin. We've had more deaths locally, and it's happening all around. How does a 23-year-old die from heroin? How does he even get it? I thought there was a war on drugs. Yeah, there's a war with drugs. They're importing it, guarding the poppy fields. Who's doing that? Well, world military powers are actually responsible for a lot of the drug distribution. the cultivation, distribution, all of that. So I'm telling on it. And I've got friends that do that too, and I appreciate that. I'm not the